Hello, I am Grace Merritt and I am from Downtown in Business, and we are here today at Westminster to talk about the challenges that the hospitality industry faces. We caught up with some industry leaders. Here's what they have to say.
We had hotels, we had restaurants, we had bars, we had pubs, we had coffee shops, people from right across the industry who are basically saying to the government, look, we're drowning. We need someone to throw us a lifeboat. And obviously from our perspective, it's important that that happens sooner rather than later.
We believe that the idea that we can unlock the visitor economy, the visitor economy is so vitally important to our city region and indeed to the country, UK PLC. But just in the city region of Liverpool, in the last year, £6.2 billion of income that came into the city region through the visitor economy, 58,000 jobs. That's why it's so important that we unlock the visitor economy and allow them to thrive.
The sector is the biggest employer of young people in the country. It has a real opportunity to help, solve many of the problems that the government has, especially around, those not in employment, educational training. Give a real sort of leg up to young people. And I think, a coordinated strategy around sort of taxation regulation could provide a real opportunity for helping the hospitality sector help the government with their own ambitions.
We're entering a really difficult time, probably possibly worse than COVID, and I think with the lack of support that's now not coming from central government, I think lobbying with things like today and trying to unlock in the visitor economy are going to be essential over the next few years. So the more voice and noise we can make, the better, especially as a collective.
One of the key things is that reduction in VAT potentially, so that would really be important. I think also the issue around business rates, it's important that businesses are able to work, pay the business rates, but it not be too onerous and too stressful for them. And I think, of course, the other thing is the issues around skills, making sure that we've got the skills in the industry, whether that be in accountancy, whether in social media, front services, whatever it might be. It's important that we're able to get that message across to the government that this is about employing people in local economies with local people.
Listening directly to people involved in the visitor economy. We know that there are challenges, but I think sometimes people here in Westminster live in a bubble. They are detached from reality, and they need to listen directly to those businesses that are playing such an important and vital role.
So to speak to MPs, to let them know what the actual reality is of life on the ground and the positive things that hospitality can do, like employing people, like changing streets, encouraging people to visit cities, spend money in other things, like when people go out, they generally then have to buy clothes, they go to beauticians, hairdressers. So I think it's really important to put our case across, and it's great that we've got access to MPs that are willing to listen.
It's important that people understand what's happening in the hospitality industry, and certainly for Liverpool it's such a vibrant hospitality scene and a driver of so many jobs within the industry. It's important that we protect that and grow the industry over the coming years, and it's a shame to see restaurants and bars struggling or closing as a result of what's happening with their finances. So to grow the industry and make sure that it is well and truly on the agenda at Westminster is a really positive move.
We do seem to be getting knocked at every angle, and I think it's because we are misunderstood in hospitality. I think we spoke about it today, is so wide. We're everything from a cafe to a restaurant to a hotel to an event to a festival, etc. But there's not quite one size fits all. So we just got to keep banging the drum and getting all those. But I think VAT would be the game changer ultimately across the sector.
At the minute, I think, although it's all around us and it's so visible, it's massively undervalued by the government. I don't know whether they have an obsession with kind of high productivity businesses or what it might be, but they're really measuring by the wrong yardsticks. Hospitality, visitor economy is enormous. Economically, in terms of GDP, it's enormous. In terms of tax revenue, it's enormous. In terms of employment and jobs. And I just don't understand why government at kind of cabinet level, at budget level, aren't seeing the importance of the sector. So to be able to sit down with MPs and really spell that out and take them through it point by point, it's absolutely invaluable, it's vital. the hospitality sector as a whole gives so much vitality to our city centres. And as such, it's really important that each of our cities have a thriving food and beverage sector, because at the end of the day, a city without a thriving hospitality sector isn't a city. It's just a badly designed business park.
I think you heard today from the MPs that often parliamentarians live in a bit of a bubble. I think that's particularly true of government and government ministers. And so when you can get industry leaders into a room in Westminster to actually talk directly to those decision makers, that's crucially important.